Gigi Hadid had never been the type to chase thrills. Her world was curated and controlled, adorned in designer shadows, safe in the arms of agents, managers, and But after years of spotlight pressure, tight travel schedules, and public scrutiny, she longed for solitude. Something quieter, something still. She found it in a remote estate in upstate New York, an abandoned colonial mansion nestled between thick woods and winding roads. It was picturesque but isolated, far from LA, far from the runway, far from the constant camera flashes. The property had been empty for decades, the previous owners long dead or untraceable. That didn't bother her. In fact, that was part of its charm. She moved in that spring. The air was cool. The silence was absolute. The old wood floors creaked under her bare feet, and the smell of pine seeped through the windows. Her assistant Maria helped unpack. Candles were lit, essential oils diffused in the corners. The house slowly softened under Gigi's touch. She slept soundly the first night, the kind of sleep she hadn't known since childhood. The second night, she stayed up late, sipping wine and reading in the grand library. A breeze moved through the halls, even when the windows were closed. It felt harmless at first, like the house was breathing. But by the fifth night, she noticed the mirrors. There were many. Every room had one. Antique, decorative, elegantly framed. They were beautiful, but unsettling. One in particular stood out. The hallway mirror. It was floor-length, framed in black oak, standing like a doorway to something deeper. She caught herself staring at it often, sometimes for too long. One night, she woke at exactly 3:30 a.m. She didn't know why. Her room was freezing. She could see her breath in the air. Goosebumps crawled up her arms. She got up to investigate. The hallway was still, but the mirror, it was fogged. Not just misty, completely coated in condensation, as though someone had breathed against it for hours. That was impossible. There was no heat, no humidity. And then she saw it, a handprint, pressed against the inside of the glass. Slender fingers, small, childlike. She stepped back, turned away, went back to bed and pulled the covers over her face, like a child hiding from monsters. In the morning, the mirror was clear. No sign of mist. No handprint. She convinced herself it was a trick of the mind. A draft, sleep paralysis, exhaustion. She moved on, or tried to. That afternoon, she invited a friend to visit Yvonne, a spiritual junkie and occasional psychic. Devon arrived with crystals, sage bundles, and tarot cards. She walked through the house slowly, her fingers trailing the walls. When she reached the hallway mirror, she paused. "There's something stuck here," she murmured. Gigi frowned. Stuck how? Like a spirit, bound, watching. Devon touched the glass. Old energy. Starved. That night, they slept in separate rooms. At 3:30 a.m., Gigi awoke again. This time, she didn't hesitate. She walked to the hallway. 2 handprints, both smaller than her own. Her chest tightened. She ran to Devon's room. But Devon wasn't there. Her bed was undisturbed, her suitcase open, her phone on the nightstand. Gigi checked the front door. Locked from the inside. Devon's car still in the driveway. She called her phone. No answer. She called again. Straight to voicemail. She searched the house. Every room, every closet. No sign of Devon. She was gone. Just gone. That was the moment Gigi felt the house notice her, like it had been waiting, and now it saw her. The next day, she tried to leave. Her car wouldn't start. The battery was fine. The fuel was full, but it refused to turn over. She called roadside assistance. No signal. She used the satellite phone. Dead. She walked to the main road, but after half a mile, she realized she was looping. The trees repeated, the same fallen log, the same crooked pine. The road led her back, always back. That night, she sat in the hallway, in front of the mirror, watching, waiting. When the clock struck 3:13, she didn't flinch. She saw movement, a flicker, something behind her inside the reflection, but when she turned, nothing. The fog on the mirror returned. Words appeared. You see me now. She touched the glass, cold, and then a breath on her neck, warm, but no one behind her. She screamed. The echo didn't bounce. The house swallowed it. She smashed the mirror with her fist. Glass fell like rain, but she saw no shards. The glass dissolved into the floor like dust. From that night forward, the mirrors were never clean. Every morning, new messages. Stay with me. Don't go. Your eyes are mine. She stopped sleeping, stopped eating. Her face grew hollow. Her hair lost its shine. She screamed at the walls. They didn't answer, but the mirrors did. She asked who it was. It wrote back, Margaret. She searched old newspaper archives in the library. In 1887, the original owner's daughter, Margaret Lauder, disappeared. She was 16, last seen near the hallway mirror. Rumors said she was taken. Whispers of rituals, of mirrors as doors, of girls as keys. Gigi read until her fingers bled, turning pages. The dates blurred. Time stretched. She no longer knew if it was day or night. The mirrors were everywhere now. Even in her dreams, she saw Margaret there, standing silently, face pale, eyes black, smiling with cracked lips. One night Gigi awoke with her feet bloody. She had walked barefoot on broken glass, but the mirrors weren't broken. They were whole, clean, mocking. She whispered to them, begged them to release her. They whispered back, "You are home." She boarded them up with wood and towels. She covered her face. She refused to look at anything reflective. But still, they came. Reflections in the sink water, in the shine of in the silver of her spoon. Always smiling, always watching. Her voice weakened, her thoughts unraveled. The house fed on her fear. One morning, she found a mirror buried under the floorboards of the library, a round, antique piece. When she looked into it, she saw herself, but not herself. Older, dressed in Victorian clothes, her own eyes staring back, lifeless. Then the reflection blinked and whispered, "Help me." She screamed and threw the mirror into the fireplace. It didn't break. It laughed, a soft, childlike giggle that made her blood run cold. She collapsed. When she woke, she was in the hallway again. In front of the mirror, it was whole again. Devon's suitcase was still in the guest room, but Devon was never found. When the police eventually cumulated by her sister, who hadn't heard from her in days, they found Gigi alone, silent, standing in front of the mirror, eyes wide, lips parted, mouth moving, but no sound. They carried her out, She didn't resist. She was hospitalized, treated for extreme exhaustion, psychosis, and trauma. She didn't speak for 6 weeks. When she finally did, all she said was, "Don't look in the mirror." Doctors tried to coax more out of her. She only repeated the phrase, again and again, "Don't look in the mirror." One nurse forgot. She wheeled a small mirror into the room during morning rounds. Gigi screamed, attacked the mirror, broke it with her hands. Blood smeared on the floor. She had to be sedated. Now, her room is mirrored, but sometimes, at night, she stares into the metal of her water tray and smiles, just slightly, as if something inside her is smiling for her. One night, a new nurse found a message traced in fog on the window. 5 simple words. "Do you see me now?"